A yawn from this 2-ton giant can break the will of an entire pack of predators. And when a crocodile makes a fatal mistake, it understands what blood is for blood. Hippopotamus, the silent killer that strikes fear into both lions and crocodiles. The peak of the dry season descends upon the Serengeti. The majestic Mara River is now just a muddy strip, divided into murky, thick pools of water. This is a place of life, but also a meeting point for death. Under the harsh sun, the water's surface is strangely still. Only a few gray objects protrude, looking no different from lifeless rocks eroded by time. But look closely at those rocks. 2 small ears occasionally twitch, and tiny eyes are always close to the water's surface, silently observing every movement on the shore. That was the hippo, the giant weighing over 1.5 tons, possessing the most capricious and ferocious temperament on the savanna. On the shore, a pride of young lions was patiently ambushing a herd of antelopes. Their focus on the target ahead made them complacent about what lay beneath their feet. A young lion, eager to prove its hunting prowess, decided to take a daring step. It waded through the shallow water to approach its prey from behind a thicket. Each step the lioness took pounded the mud, creating ripples on the surface of the lake. Unbeknownst to it, each step was tapping on the gates of hell. For the alpha male hippo, this water was not just a place to cool off. It was sacred ground. Any creature, even the king of the jungle, that dared disturb its waters without permission would pay with its life. Beneath the muddy water, the armored submarine began to move. There was no menacing roar, no ostentation. The hippo dove deep, using its masterful breath-holding ability to move closer to the unsuspecting lioness. The stillness of the river was a harbinger of an impending, terrifying rage. A natural trap had sprung, and the poor lioness was walking straight into the jaws of a silent killer. The lioness had advanced into the pool, her belly up to her waist. Just as she believed she had secured a prime position to pounce on the antelope, The water ahead began to bubble. A deep rumbling growl rose from the depths of the river. Not the resounding roar of a big cat, but a dry, menacing hiss, like the engine of a heavy machine. Suddenly, the water erupted into a column of white waves. The gray rock that had been there moments before shot up. The alpha male hippo appeared, looming like a towering wall of flesh right in front of the lioness. In that instant, the pride of the king of the jungle vanished completely, replaced by utter terror in its eyes. The hippo didn't need to touch its opponent to instill fear. It performed its classic warning move, the deadly yawn. It opened its enormous jaws at an angle of nearly 150 degrees. Its breath, thick with the smell of mud and the aura of menace, blew directly into the lioness's face. This was the most forceful declaration of ownership. The giant's patience had run out. Without giving the intruder another second to recover, the hippo lunged. Even in the mud, it moved with incredible speed, like a tank gliding across ice. The hippo's missed bite created a large column of water, splashing directly into the lioness's face. Gone was the pride of a predator. The lion was now nothing more than a pathetic creature struggling in a death trap. It frantically thrashed about, its forepaws clawing at the murky water for support. Lions are naturally good swimmers, but under the pressure of a giant chasing them closely, each stroke became chaotic. Its gasping breaths were drowned out by the splashing water and the aggressive snorting of the hippopotamus right behind it. A single misstep, and those 1,000-pound jaws would crush its hind legs. Upon reaching the shallow water near the shore, the lioness leaped onto the land with all her might. She didn't stop to shake off the water or look back at her opponent, but continued to run for her life deeper into the grassland. The entire pride of lions on the shore fled in terror. Even though they were now on solid ground, their territory, fear still gripped them. The lioness stopped at a considerable distance, her body still trembling violently, her eyes fixed on the water. She was still alive, but the soul of a hunter had been deeply wounded. The image of the hippopotamus's enormous jaws would haunt her whenever she touched the water. The Mara River never belonged to big cats. The hippopotamus didn't pursue her ashore. It stopped where the water reached its chest, standing tall like an impenetrable fortress. It opened its mouth and performed a huge yawn, not from sleepiness, but a symbolic display of its weapon to bid farewell to the defeated. The hippo slowly submerged again, the water gradually returning to its calm state, as if no battle had ever taken place. But the lesson of respect remained, deeply ingrained in the minds of the lions and any creature that witnessed it. Strength sometimes lies not in how much prey you hunt, but in not daring to touch you. Do you think lions are afraid of hippos? Or is it just that lions are weaker because they are underwater? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. After the lion's figures had completely disappeared behind the bushes, the Mara River seemed to shed its tension. The water returned to its calm, gray, mirror-like surface, only slightly disturbed by ripples. In a quiet corner of the river, the mother hippo was enjoying a precious moment of rest. Beside her was the baby hippo, a tiny creature with rosy skin and soft ears. The little one was completely carefree, snuggling into its mother's lap and happily diving, creating small bubbles on the water's surface. It had no idea that, in this savanna, innocence was an invitation to death. Under the harsh equatorial sun, the bare, sensitive skin of both mother and child began to ooze a dark red liquid, what people commonly call blood sweat. In reality, this was a unique natural antibiotic, helping them fight off bacteria in the murky river, while also acting as a perfect sunscreen to protect their massive bodies from cracking in the fiery heat of Serengeti. The mother hippo gently sniffed, exhaling a strong stream of steam through the two nostrils located at the very top of her head. This is a perfect design of nature, allowing it to completely submerge its ton-sized body in water to cool down while still being able to observe and breathe discreetly. Although it may appear lethargic in a semi-conscious state, all its senses are working at full capacity. Hippos are extremely territorial. For it, this pool of water is not just home, but an impenetrable fortress. Besides that, aggression is a devoted, nurturing instinct. The mother hippo always keeps her calf upstream or close to her side, using her enormous body to block the strong current and create a safe buffer zone from the sight of crocodiles. It is willing to go without food and sleep for hours just to be a resting place for its young to rest on its back. This apparent peace is merely a facade for a highly developed defense mechanism. Hippos don't need a reason to attack. The mere presence of any stranger is enough to trigger their fiery brains. In the hippo world, silence is not peace, but preparation for the most violent storm if anyone dares to cross the invisible line beneath the water's surface. Not far away, a gnarled log drifted slowly. There was no sound, no bubbles. It was a giant Nile crocodile, a seasoned predator that had existed since prehistoric times. With its cold, golden eyes fixed on the water's surface, it had locked on to the baby hippo. This predator understood that attacking an adult hippo was suicidal, but a young hippo, even just a few meters out of its mother's sight, was a different story. The crocodile slowly submerged. It moved like a ghost beneath the muddy riverbed, using the darkness and murky water to conceal its murderous intentions. The baby hippo continued to play, gradually moving further away from its mother. It didn't realize that, right beneath its feet, a pair of jaws with the power to crush bones were opening. The air suddenly became thick and cold. A massacre seemed imminent, as the cold-blooded killer was only a single tail flick away from its prey. The crocodile closed in. Less than a meter from the baby hippo's feet, it began to arch its body, preparing for a powerful tail flick to seize its target. The moment the mother hippo turned her head toward the bushes by the shore, momentarily distracted, death struck. The giant crocodile had lost its patience. With a powerful flick of its tail, it lunged like an arrow. The crocodile's deadly jaws clamped down on the baby hippo's tiny body. When the mother hippo turned back, all she saw were bloody bubbles rising to the surface, and the crocodile's tail plunging deep into the water with its prized possession. Terror filled the air. Rage erupted. The crocodile seemed overconfident in its scales and its ability to dive deep, but it was wrong. When the hippo's anger reached its peak, the deep water was no longer a safe haven, but a pressure furnace. The father hippo came crashing down like a mountain. He didn't attack with his jaws immediately, but used his entire nearly 2-ton weight to ram the crocodile's side underwater. A direct collision sent the cold-blooded killer flying, forcing it to release the carcass of its calf to defend itself. Just as the crocodile attempted to turn and flee, the mother hippo blocked its escape. horrific scene unfolded. The father hippo clamped down on its head, while the mother hippo locked onto its tail. The enormous crocodile was lifted out of the water, writhing in midair like a tiny lizard. The Mara River turned a deep red, not from the hippo's blood, but from the blood of the one who had just declared himself king of killers. The crocodile had no chance to resist. The tyrannical pair didn't just want to kill it, they were carrying out a show of force. They slammed the crocodile down repeatedly until the predator's body was nothing but a mangled mass of flesh. The blood debt had been paid at the most horrific price any creature in this river had ever witnessed. The storm had subsided. The crocodile's carcass was now just a mass of shattered scales, slowly sinking to the bottom of the Mara River, becoming prey for other aquatic creatures, a cruel punishment of the law of karma. But this victory brought no joy. The water gradually calmed, but the breaths of the two giants were still heavy, exhaling hot breaths into the twilight air. The mother hippo slowed her swim, heading towards the carcass of her calf, drifting lazily near a clump of reeds. The silence of the savannah was now more terrifying than the roar of a lion. The other crocodiles on the shore seemed to sense the weight of this grief. They were silent, none daring to approach that death zone. As the last crimson rays of the sunset faded into darkness, the pair of hippos slowly dived down, carrying their sorrow into the depths of the river. The Mara River continued to flow, carrying with it stories of life and death, of love and revenge. Tomorrow, another battle will begin, but the memory of the tyrannical couple's wrath will live on as a legend filled with blood and tears. Mara Waterhole witnessed a tragedy and the most brutal purge in history today. Blood debt has been repaid with blood, but the emptiness in the mother's heart can never be filled. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next wildlife survival series. Red dust swirled as the two leaders charged toward each other. The roar of the long-toothed demon mixed with the shrill screech of the savanna scavengers, tearing the hot air of the Rift Valley. Baboon versus hyena. Death battle between two rulers of the savannah. That dry morning, The sunlight poured down on the Rift Valley like a layer of molten metal, evaporating from the cracked ground and dyeing the space a dazzling yellow. The baboons had just moved to the stone floor area next to the dry stream, which was considered a natural fortress during the harsh dry season. This year's dry season was unusually long. The stream, which was the last source of water in the Rift Valley, had almost dried up, leaving only a thin strip of wet mud that was enough to attract all the animals desperately looking for water. Rocco's baboons, after many days of wandering, had chosen the stone floor next to the stream as a temporary shelter. Not only because of the water, but because the land was high, open enough for them to see their enemies from afar. For a large herd of cubs, like Rocco's, this was a vital choice. But what they didn't know was that the location was right on the main hunting route of the Bonebreakers clan, the spotted hyena pack ruled by Soraya. Every dry season, the hyenas moved along fixed trails to approach carcasses, water sources, and weak herds. When the baboons set up camp in the middle of that route, they were committing the most ecological taboo of all, invading the hunting territory of the most organized species on the savanna. Soraya could smell the monkeys from afar, the scent of a species with delicious meat, but more importantly, the scent of a competitor for water, a resource more precious than blood at this time. The monkey's occupation of the stream bank forced the hyenas to circle twice as far to find another source of water. For a large herd of young like the Bonebreakers clan, it was a threat that could not be ignored. At the same time, Rocco also felt the unusual tension from the headwind. Baboons were not primary predators, but they were extremely aggressive when defending temporary territories, especially when they had young. For Rocco, the presence of the hyenas meant one thing: his pack was about to be tested. And then the real spark was lit when a young baboon fell behind the pack and wandered right into Soraya's hunting path. For the hyenas, a lone young individual was an opportunity. For the baboons, it was the line of survival. It wasn't hunger. It wasn't inherent hostility. The encounter that day broke out simply because the two species needed the same water and safety, but couldn't share it. Baboons and hyenas are not only different in morphology, but they are two opposing biological weapons of nature. One species relies on intelligence, speed, and flexible pack tactics, while the other relies on bite force, toughness, pain tolerance, and extraordinary endurance. This difference makes every collision between them always have an unpredictable outcome. Adult male baboons, especially alpha individuals like Rocco, possess fangs nearly as long as tiger cubs, which can penetrate the flesh of an opponent in just one bite. An average male baboon has a bite force of about 500 pounds per square inches, but what makes them more dangerous is the speed of their attacks, snapping, swinging, and scratching from their forelimbs, which take place in less than 1/10 of a second. Their physical strength is also impressive. They can sprint at speeds of 50 kilometers per hour, and in particular, they can attack using paramilitary tactics, feint, surround from two directions, attack directly at the opponent's weak points, such as the nose and the two sides. In nature, there have been cases of male baboons killing hyena cubs with just a few precise bites. Meanwhile, spotted hyenas are one of the creatures with the strongest bite force on the savanna. Their jaws reach 1,100 pounds per square inches, enough to crush the femur of an adult antelope in just a few bites. Unlike dogs or wolves, the hyena's strength is concentrated in its forelimbs and extremely strong neck, allowing it to lunge at its opponent like a living wedge. Their skin is thick, elastic, and extremely tear-resistant, a natural armor that helps them confront lions and vultures. What makes Soraya even more dangerous is its superior pain tolerance and recovery ability, allowing it to continue fighting even when seriously injured in the shoulder or thigh, something that many other predators find difficult to do. And if baboons are dangerous because of their tactics, hyenas are scary because of their cold calculation and endurance. They don't need to win quickly. They just need to hold out long enough for their brethren to come. A 1v1 between baboon and hyena might be evenly matched, but a 1v4 always goes to the hyena unless the baboon leader manages to turn the tide with a counter-encirclement tactic. What makes the clash between the two species so unforgiving is that both believe they are the more dangerous. Baboons believe in intelligence and sharp fangs. Hyenas believe in steel jaws and fearlessness. When these two philosophies of survival collide, the savanna splits into two worlds, one of speed and strategy, the other of brute strength and unbreakable tenacity. The savanna has barely had time to catch its breath from the early morning heat when the ground shakes with pounding footsteps. Rocco is the first to dive down from the high stone floor, muscles flexing under his gray-gold fur, his yellow eyes flashing with pure anger. He is running to save more than just a child. He was charging into battle to defend the herd's right to exist. Rocco's roar echoed in the valley. It was not a threat. It was a summons. The baboon's typical tactics began to manifest on the dry, cracked ground. Soraya, from a lower position, saw it all. She did not panic. She did not retreat. She stood still for just a breath, pricked her ears, and let out a short, dry, sharp cry. A command as sharp as a knife. From behind the tan grass, 4 gray figures spread out like ghosts. They did not run. They advanced in wide strides, the pressure forming a closing arc. The hyena's tactics never changed, squeezing to the end. Not for beauty, just for sure. Baboon and hyena faced each other only a few meters away. The air was frozen. Not a single one retreated. The battle broke out. The battle raged on, uncompromising as it was. Just as the two groups were entangled in a fierce melee, another sound rang out. The baby baboon had tried to crawl out of the thorn bushes. In its desperate attempt, it stepped on the soft ground at the edge of the stream. The ground gave way. The baby lost its balance and fell into a deeper body of water than it had imagined. For a fragile moment, the battle stopped for only half a second, but it was enough to change everything. The sound of falling was very small, but everyone heard it. Rocco turned his head, and his heart ached as the baby baboon sank. Every time it tried to surface, it sank deeper. If no one came to save it, it would be over in a few dozen seconds. Soraya saw it too. But what startled her was not the baby. It was the unusually strong stirring of mud next to where the baby baboon had fallen. A current of air rose. A dark shadow crept lightly under the mud. A pair of dim yellow eyes opened right at the water's edge. A dry river crocodile, one that almost no one expected to still be in this shallow pool, emerged. The battle between baboon and hyena suddenly became a race against time. The savannah suddenly became strangely quiet. No more roars. No more hissing. Only the sound of moving mud and the heavy breathing of those standing on the edge of life and death. In that brief moment, time seemed to compress into a tight string about to snap. The baby baboon struggled in the mud, its eyes filled with panic, as if begging the world not to abandon it. Its weak cries no longer carried far. They were muffled by the despair that filled its small body. Soraya watched everything in silence. Its eyes were no longer the fire of a hunter, but the rare hesitation of a leader. It saw the baby baboon sink helplessly. It saw the mud calm down and then shake violently as the crocodile moved closer. And in that moment, the maternal instinct that she had hidden away emerged like a thin crack in her cruel face. Rocco rushed forward like an arrow, breaking the wind, her feet sweeping hard on the cracked earth, raising a mist of red dust. He could no longer hear the hyenas, could no longer feel the hot breath of the savannah. Only one sound pierced through all the broken, fragile breathing of the baby baboon, sinking into the mud as if falling into a dark abyss. He leaped from the cliff to the edge of the stream, his body spinning in midair in an instinctive movement that he himself had no time to think about. When his hands touched the ground, the soft mud sank deep enough to his wrists. From under the mud, the crocodile's rough head emerged, its cold yellow eyes like two pieces of dead glass. Soraya stood motionless as Rocco pulled the baby up from the mud bank. The sound of the crocodiles missing their bites behind them echoed like a dark drumbeat, but no hyenas charged. The bone breakers retreated half a step, their instincts, which usually spurred them into melee, slowed as if pinned down by something unnameable. Soraya's ears drooped. She took a deep breath, then turned her head. The fight stopped there. In a rare moment, between two species that always saw each other as the ones who took their lives, something like acknowledgement emerged. Not respect. Not outright sympathy. But recognition that a small life had been saved, and that was greater than any temporary feud. Soraya turned away. The hyenas followed, step by step, silently disappearing into the hot dust. In the distance, the baboons began to approach. Small, trembling calls, filled with both worry and relief, echoed across the dry land. The encounter ended not with blood, but with a sudden decision. A pack of hyenas, because of a moment of the past, chose to retreat before the courage of an individual enemy. That day, the savannah did not witness a winner or a loser. Only witnessed a creature pulled back from the hands of death. In the harsh steppe, where life and death are only a breath apart, sometimes the strongest is not the one who wins the battle, but the one who knows how to stop at the right time. Today, there was no enemy, only a small creature pulled back from the brink. And the savannah, in that rare moment, was silent before the courage and unexpected choice of both species. Don't forget to ring the bell and subscribe so you don't miss the next series of wildlife survival.